And now
Fine.
it's time to head on over to the Cafe of Chat, located in the Kingdom of Chat in Conversation Castle. I know, we're struggling with the names on this show.
We did it.
Now,
Chuckle
actually, I
Bees.
have to go. I have to be up early tomorrow.
Well,
So I should-
okay, real quick,
What?
you have to answer. How did you feel about session? Questions, comments,
enjoyed it.
concerns?
I think I've learned that I just don't like combat as a whole.
You don't like what?
I don't like D&D combat as a whole.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's too bad. Minor spoiler, there are a few puzzles in here.
Oh.
Fun!
Now you're speaking my language.
Oh, yes.
Maybe it's because my character's a sniper. I feel disconnected from anything, and that's my fault.
Stop choking.
I love snipers in D&D. They're fun.
That's Hunter. That's your thing.
Yeah.
That's your thing, dude. You like that shit. Being a ranger in this game sucks absolute butt. I don't like it. I've never liked it. It's not fun.
I might give you a few supplemental things to make it a little better.
Okay. I do
Yeah.
hit like a truck, though, which is nice.
Right?
You sure fucking do.
Yeah, that's your character. You're supposed to be the long-range heavy hitter.
I feel like you actually balance out the fact that I'm the complete opposite, and I make characters based around everything but combat.
But the thing is, you keep using
Oh.
those pain bringers.
I think you should nerf them a little bit. 2 turns is...
Well, they also get to
Yeah.
do the con save at the beginning of every single one of their turns.
That's true. That's true.
And I honestly, if you weren't here, I'm pretty sure this battle would have lasted much longer and probably resulted in at least one person dying.
I'm not...
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair.
And I don't need just
I
me.
just wish... I'll have to think on this for a bit, actually.
Put up the post-game discussion sign for our stream goers.
In a very ironic way, this ended up being a fairly balanced party, in my opinion.
I will ask the chat members at home, since we are live, what did you guys think?
I love how... no, go ahead.
Go ahead and type those out while we continue going. You were saying something?
I love how Dolores is like, just walks up in the middle of the chaos, leans over something, and it's like, hey, do you want to stop?
Roll the frickin' 20 on that, I swear to God.
I love it. It's so good.
That's how the
How
game
tall
goes
is Dolores,
sometimes.
by the way?
That
was
is always an
actually-
option.
This was stupidly cinematic. It's great.
Thank you! I
love how cinematic the game has been so far.
Yes! It's...
Dude, your hook at
I
this,
love the constant
your actual
things.
hook at the beginning of this, insanity.
Thank you so much.
Actually, like one of the best hooks I've heard for a campaign.
I was looking forward to this, but now I know
Yeah,
it was
was
for good
actually
reason.
that good because it was well written, to the point, quick, and gave me like the immediate. This is what you're doing. This is who you are. This is your alliance. This is what is up. Play the role. It's like, oh, bet, yo, I'm in.
Infinitely better than the "Who the fuck are you people?" and we spent
Yeah,
5 years
literally.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Like you
is
can
my-
be a person, but you have to be a person playing a role.
Is my character acting enough like I'm just here for the ride? I'm adventure. I'm just...
yeah, you're good. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're fine.
I really
So-
like the fact that they.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that I have 2 things. I like the fact that everyone took into stride the fact that me playing my character as definitely not supposed to be here and definitely not supposed to be in this role on purpose. The other thing I like is the fact that I actually am kind of a slut for maps that have that shadow effect that you have going on there. They have that in Roll20 also.
Oh, thank you.
And
yeah.
I did not think that the map was too big at all, especially. I do feel like when there's no combat or any chance of combat, that
The auxiliary dock
bothering
is a
with
little
the
big.
bothering with the ship travel restriction is kind of pointless in that case. But beyond that, I like the
Actually,
exploring part.
yeah, that was my next point. I was gonna ask everybody, how did you feel about our very interesting ship combat system? I want
I
all your
have a
feedback.
I have a rule for you that I need you to go back to because I explained this to you when we first started working on this goddamn system, buddy. You need the ships to act independently of the players at all times.
But that's not fun.
You need that. You need it to be that way.
What do you mean by
The
independent?
player's job on the ship needs to be interacting with the subsystems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The player's
well, that's
job
true.
on the ship needs to be interacting with the subsystems.
Well, we
and
were
bouncing
doing
bet-
that, and then you guys wanted to start boarding.
No,
No.
understand what I'm saying. So the ship needs to be able to move as its own, right? It
Yes.
just needs to be able to move. The only way that it can move is if there's somebody at the helm. Doesn't really matter who's at the helm. Could be the captain, could be the quartermaster, could be one of the fucking crew members. Doesn't really matter. Somebody needs to helm the ship.
Yeah.
Only then can the ship move. So the ability for the ship to do a thing during its turn is dependent on where the crew is on the deck of the ship. That's I had
So,
talked to
like,
you about this, about how you need to
Wait.
you need to have the ships.
Wait. So, like, what you're saying is, like, Delora was at the helm the whole time, so only they could move the ship.
No. I'm saying that the movement, all of the strategic planning can be done as a group. But somebody needs to be on the helm, somebody needs to be manning the weapons, somebody needs to be spotting enemies from wherever they happen to, whatever mechanism that the ship has to be spotting enemies. Somebody needs to man that station and be doing stuff on that station in order for that to be a function the ship has. If not, the ship is blind. And if somebody's not manning the guns on the correct side of the ship, guess what? You can't fire the guns during your turn.
I think
this-
what you're saying is that
Interesting.
relying on NPCs to do that kind of ruins ship combat.
Not really. There are certain things that the NPCs can do. But
Interesting.
What I was telling you, and I had told you this before when we were talking about how to make the system really work, you kind of ignored me on this, and now you see kind of what happened, where the person manning the ship is doing X, and we're juggling turns between what's happening where, what's happening when, and the amount of movement the ship gets in that interim is skewed,
Interesting.
right?
Counterpoint.
So, yeah. Okay, what is your counterpoint?
Well, this system also needs to be able to scale up to, let's say, something this large.
That does. What I just told you does.
This is your.
Space station.
This is your.
Ooh.
Remember how I said you were under the command of Captain Willman? This is his
Yeah.
ship, the Shackleton.
Right.
Uh-oh.
So what I just told you does.
The Shackleton doesn't have a map, by the way. Don't get too excited.
No, again, what I just told you does scale up to that. Because
Interesting. I'll
What's-
take it to heart. We do have one more ship battle to go through.
Look,
so we can
contact me after the game, or whenever you get some time. We need to hammer it out a little better, because the vibes are there. It's so close.
I mean, I'm
so
getting
close to being there, man.
I'm getting hopelessly, hilariously drunk tonight. You heard the cork go off right there.
I sure fucking did.
I have a suggestion.
Shoot.
Can I personally help the NPCs load torpedoes in order for it to go?
Yes.
Sure,
In fact, that's encouraged.
Yes, you can. Using
Okay.
an action to speed up the reloading process of a weapon system.
You
is
guys were
encouraged.
doing that.
We were
Yes.
basically doing that. It just kind of got a bit muddled with the. We're gonna move this much, but then we're actually gonna move this much, but then we're actually gonna.
Yeah, it was
actually doing
It
what?
was in the background of everything else happening.
Yeah.
Correct.
You did. You had one One party member was actually reloading. You had another party member yelling at crew members to reload, so they were doing it.
Yep.
Which means you effectively knocked down the reload time of your torpedo launchers by 1 turn.
Which is huge.
Yes.
Okay.
And that can happen. Also, I think you need to change the cooldown of the torpedo launchers from 5 turns to 3.
I don't know, man.
5 turns
Maybe.
is way too long to not have one of the major guns on the boat, dude.
Maybe if we had a second gun.
Your second gun is the Lancer, but maybe you're right. Maybe 5 turns
Like
is a
there
little big.
need to be more things for players to be able to like interact with on the ship immediately.
Let's see,
Oh yeah,
ship
because
combat.
basically,
Well, if our ship
The
got
longest-
hit, we would be spending time maintaining it, fixing it.
true.
The longest reload on the gun tree, as I'm calling it, is the Nova mortar with 10 turns.
Which is insane, by the way.
Well, that's because the Nova mortar, it's supposed to be a fucking nuke.
right. Does it kill the ship in one shot?
It does 10d10 AoE.
It
That's
hits every
not even-
system.
That's not
It hits
even
every
remote-
system.
It's not even remotely close to strong enough for that.
I mean, it could cripple like 4 subsystems with one go.
And it
depending
does
on
double
the-
damage to
Could,
sails.
but at 10 turns, really?
Yeah, no, you're right. Like we're outdoing that with the torpedoes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
literally.
so we
I was saying just tune up the damage on that. Fuck people. I
well,
guess.
there's also the Star mortar, which does 3d10 AoE, which that's double damage to sails, by the way.
Right.
Same with the Nova mortar. The Star mortar
Yeah.
is 5 turns. Now I want the artillery pieces to actually take a while. But if you guys want to knock the torpedoes down to 3 turns, yeah, we
See,
can do that.
no, like yeah, the torpedoes should be good. Also, you need to give them travel time, like I discussed.
I thought about that, but
You need to give them travel time, dude. They're too
So they
strong.
can be dodged by the other ships.
Yes,
Okay.
I
You need to
thought
be-
about
the-
that, but
dude. You like if you want this system to work, you need shit to be able to be dodgeable.
I mean, that's how it's done in Rogue Trader.
We are kind of already rolling AC.
well, there's also actually I can
Yeah, no, we're rolling AC, but that's not dodgeable.
Well, there's also
That's-
now, Octa, you and I discussed this, and then we have them on the Shackleton. Actually, the point defense guns.
Oh,
you have-
I didn't
you
know
have
that.
point defense guns, sure, that's an upgrade and shit, but like, actually, you know what? Okay, no, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Oh, you
I
know
didn't-
what? Oh no, I'm hearing you, man. Because actually, we talked about that before.
Yes,
When we were
did.
when we were going through how the torpedoes were supposed to work, I actually agreed with you that the torpedoes shouldn't have travel time because we're already rolling AC, and you can upgrade stuff
Yeah.
to be able to shoot them down.
So, like,
yeah,
it-
okay, got it.
Like,
Yeah, that
I don't
point's
know if
getting
you
excessively
actually-
complex.
I don't know if you actually played the game that we based this whole system off of.
I haven't.
Battle at Procyon. Those torpedoes are supposed to be homing, but I have seen my fair share of sloops and bullshit dodge those things. So like in terms of AC, like you could say like they skid off the hull or they miss entirely because not only are they homing, but they do have like a range limit. They explode
Sure.
after a while.
Do they home on the ship?
They home
or
on
do
the
they
ship,
home
yes.
in on? Okay.
I'm letting you home it in on subsystems.
Like I said, I'm going to go to bed. So see you guys
Well,
later.
thank you so much for playing.
See ya.
Oh
Alright,
no,
good
I had a
night, man.
blast.
I'll get in contact with you about next session. We'll probably start figuring that out tomorrow.
You know how to get a hold of me.
Of course. Well, this is roundabout, but Lawler, how did you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns?
I didn't think the ship combat was that bad. Once I realized that it was basically similar to regular combat, except with ships.
With
it was-
multiple health bars and...
Yeah. I mean, it's basically doesn't seem all that too different from other games that also attempt to simulate ship combat, which basically just comes down to each individual subsystem has its own health pool and can be targeted individually.
You would be amazed how much I actually copy-pasted from Battle at Procyon.
I hadn't even heard of Battle of Procyon until tonight, to be honest.
It's on
but that's
Steam.
That's kind of interesting to look at.
Everyone should go play it. It's on Steam.
I myself am also not a very big fan of D&D combat, but I didn't think combat really lagged all that much during the session. It's just that a little bit of confusion around using the systems for Forge for D&D, because the last game I played using this website was actually Lancer, which works completely different, obviously.
Yep.
And you already know that I built my character not for combat but for literally everything else, and I'm glad for that you kind of humored me with my attempts to get the enemies to peacefully surrender despite missing half of their limbs.
Yeah, I actually took a page out of Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag with that, because like when you board a ship in that game, your objectives are kill X amount of people, blow this up, eventually like intimidate them to the point where, okay, we've lost too many guys, we're not gonna win this, we surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And that worked out perfect.
Yeah, I thought that was fine also.
I'm right there with you.
So, like, as far as general thoughts about your DM style and the game itself, to me, this is just another fairly competently run D&D game. I appreciate when people do homebrew systems for D&D, as someone who also almost never plays vanilla D&D ever.
This is my first delve into a homebrew system. It's actually my first time running it. I think B ran a few tests.
Oh, see,
I tried to. I didn't really know the numbers involved, so I was kind of guessing.
Like, yeah, because
We're
we
just
have
playing
to
around with it.
we have to stat every single ship. Like, you're looking at the Shackleton here. It doesn't even have HP yet.
it's actually a lot of bars as it is.
It's got starboard medium guns, starboard light laser cannons, a forward torpedo launcher, rear Gatling cannons. It's actually, in terms of Battle of Procyon, it's the most cost-efficient ship in the game.
But, yeah, see, I would have not gotten that from you, that this is the first time you run a homebrew D&D campaign, because
I've run a
it
regular
flowed.
D&D campaign, not a homebrew, but I have run D&D.
Yeah, that probably is most of where it's coming from. Is there, I don't know if this is spoilers or not, but was there actually a point to the magic rock, or is it just a rock that just happens to look different from the other rocks?
That is actually a Kerbal reference.
Oh. That's why it went over my head.
The magic boulder was an Easter egg you could find around Ike, which was the moon of Duna, which is the Kerbal Mars equivalent. Originally, it was really, really hard to find because it was actually orbiting the planet. You had to go find it. But eventually, they took it out of the game for a while, but then they put it back. But now it's on the surface, and you can actually go stand on it, which I've done.
Cool.
But yeah, that was just a Kerbal reference. Scott Manley has a whole dang video about the magic boulder.
But yeah, beyond that, I really appreciate you including me in this campaign, and
it was mostly just me being like, all right, I gotta build the asteroid field, put a funny rock in there, magic boulder.
might as well, right? Okay, there is one point of criticism, and I know you all just got finished talking about the ship combat system, but
No, go for it, please.
I personally, I like it. This greatly simplifies ship combat, so I don't want to harp about this too much, because as I already mentioned before, I'm not a big fan of combat in D&D unless it's really spicy or has a lot of things to make it go quicker, usually because of homebrewing. But if we were talking about, but as far as like ship-to-ship combat simulation, I don't actually like the here's six crewmen who are running all the systems for you, just because it's
Really?
very. Yeah, I mean,
Me
as far as like simplifying the system, it's great.
Me
No
and
big- no
Octi
problem there.
slapped that on as a band-aid because we didn't want 18 different players running around the boat.
Yeah,
think,
the biggest problem was
Yeah.
that there are a lot of subsystems and a lot of places to juggle time.
yeah.
If a boarding action needs to be called, or if somebody needs to leave the boat for X, Y, or Z, just having the boat be dead in the water because of that is not an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. I could kind of tell that it was just there as a placeholder
Yeah,
to.
I'll also
simplify
say that's
things.
not written into the system.
Yeah,
Oof,
it's not yet. Like the
Oof.
reality is like the things the crewmen are taking care of are mostly like the rigging, making sure that you can adjust the speed of the ship when you want to adjust the speed
You
of the
have
ship.
a guy regulating the power downstairs. All
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't
having-
even think of that.
having a reloader.
Yeah, but-
like specifically having a reloader for your weapon
You have a
systems.
wrench jockey down underneath
Yep.
your stairs, like Harry Potter style. He lives down there. I'm not even kidding.
There's
I
a
just
lot
kind of-
there are a lot of things that need to be done on a ship in order to make it run efficiently. That's why
Yes.
they're there.
It's not
Yeah,
like that. It's not that fucking scene out of Pirates of the Caribbean where they're like, 2 people can't run this ship.
Yeah, that's.
And
I
no,
guess
that's
that's kinda
true.
what I-
2 people can't run this ship. And
I
this
guess
is
like
this isn't even the biggest ship we made.
guess it was. I was kind of assuming it was running off video game logic, where there's a lot of things where if you made this too realistic, it would be overly complicated and unfun. So we'll just sort of ignore or simplify
Yeah,
the
it's-
systems that would normally be there, but they're just being automated or they're just not talked about. They're not acknowledged, type thing, basically. Because
Yeah, no, like the
theoretically,
sloop you boarded, for example, there were deckhands on that too, but they were like, I don't get paid enough for this.
yeah,
I just
and
load the
not to
gun. I
mention-
don't. They don't
Not to
pay me
mention
to
if we
fight.
had, not to mention that we blew up a third of the ship, so a lot of those people would have probably died in the process, which would have caused a cascading series of failures anyway.
Okay, you crippled
But,
2 sloops today.
Yeah, and actually crippling me, the fucking engine exploded.
Yeah.
The
Assuming
one-
all the flammable fuel in there
Yeah,
too.
the one here, these health bars are not accurate because all of their guns should be at 0. And their sail is at 0.
Kind of lit
But,
them on fire and told them to go sit and spin.
Their rudder's
Like-
fine. They still got a rudder. They can't steer
Even
with
if-
it, but they have it.
Just the fact that we survived and were not launched off the ship. Well, I'm not the kind of person that bitches about suspension of disbelief anyway. But other than that, I mean, I'm not. That's the only thing, because I didn't know how complex y'all were making the ship combat system. It is what it is.
We covered our
It's
bases.
just- but
There's
Like-
like the stuff we have in this thing, we didn't even get to all of it. Like we haven't even mentioned gravity charge launchers.
oh my god.
It's a non-lethal thing that creates a 4-tile radius of extreme gravity. It stops the ship from moving.
And
It just stops their
Bless.
ship from moving for 2 turns.
All right, boss.
What?
I gotta pop out.
But wait,
It is time.
but wait. You have not answered the question.
What do
How
you
did
need
you
me to answer?
How did you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns? Because I value your feedback. We worked very hard on this.
It was good. Your hook was incredible. I liked the set dressing.
Thanks.
Getting us into the action really quick was a very good choice to kind of get us acclimated.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there probably should have been a session 0 for this particular one shot. just because the ship system is very complicated.
Yeah, just a bit.
It's not Spelljammer. Like we don't just have rules that we can just look up. We actually, it's kind of built a little bit from the ground up here, so yeah. Damage values seemed actually weirdly okay for the guns. I was
wasn't too
genuinely
sure.
surprised that playtesting those, like, it didn't feel terrible. Problem though, that they only didn't feel too bad for me, who gets hit with 24 points of damage and isn't like on death's door. The
God,
other
like-
characters
Actually.
taking 9 points of damage average is rough.
I actually thought I was going to die this session.
You would have been fine.
Yeah,
We have-
nope,
we have
that would
medicine.
not kill Conqueror.
But yeah, like taking 9 points of
I
damage.
just shot you with a
turn,
heavy
like-
laser cannon.
Well, because the swift lock, doesn't that do a D8?
The swift lock, pulling up the swift lock real quick.
Yeah, double check that.
No, it does a 1d4.
The 1d4. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
The swift lock is meant to be fast. You could
Yes,
fire that
good.
3 times on one turn.
What about the Laslock?
The regular
It's the
flint?
normal one.
That's 2d4.
Yeah. That's 2d4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, the laser flintlock is the base model. The swift lock sacrifices raw power for speed. The wheel lock sacrifices power for range. The duck
Okay, but
foot
they do
is the duck
they do
foot.
take extra damage for the. Oh, they do take extra damage from Dex mods.
Yes.
So, you know what? Honestly, like the guns, they felt
Actually, the
weirdly
wheel
balanced.
actually the wheel lock is a d6.
Oh yeah, that
A
reminds me.
D6.
Since we raided their armory, I think we could swap out.
Yes, I was waiting
What
for
was
that.
it? I think we could fucking Dolores wheel lock out for a swift lock, since I think that fits a rogue better, at least for.
Or I
speed,
can dual
for-
wield. Or I can
Yeah,
dual wield swords finally.
You could dual wield swords. You can get a gun that actually lets you have an offhand
Yeah,
that
I
works.
can get you.
Whichever you want. Because, like, unfortunately, you got the one gun that doesn't want to be offhanded.
The
As long as
wheel
it's
lock.
got the light property, you can use it.
I mean, you can, but not as a bonus action.
Laser arms.
Yeah, you can if you hear it in your offhand.
We'll throw a swift lock at you.
Light
Hunter
weapons
put in
are
the
the
gun.
only ones that you can hold in your offhand.
Put in the
No,
weapon.
you don't understand. Hunter specifically put in the rules. You need a bonus action to fire offhand for these weapons if it specifies bonus action.
Which is fine because that's what you're doing. You're
Alright,
using
like-
a bonus action.
Okay, so
But the wheel lock don't have it, so you can't.
the wheel lock? The wheel lock can't
Yeah.
fire with a bonus action.
So dumb.
See?
Why is
That's
that
what I
dumb?
mean.
Wait, hold on. It's a D6?
It's a d6. You can
I
use
mean, short swords are a D6, and you can
Look, this
carry
doesn't
those
matter.
in
She
offhand.
could use her double swords now if she wanna. It's
Okay,
fine.
walk me through the problem.
No, there isn't any problem. So short swords in D&D are a D6. Short swords have the light property,
And finesse.
Yes.
so they can be used in an offhand. Meaning that somebody who is attacking can attack, and if they have extra attack, use extra attack, and then use their bonus action to attack with their offhand weapon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is the case for anything with the light property. I noticed that you didn't incorporate weapon properties for the gun, which is fine, but it does, however, leave out certain weapons, such as the flint, like the flintlock, the swift lock, and those other little pistols from being used as offhand weapons.
Okay, we have
Being able to be used as a bonus action.
we have 4 pistols.
However many. There's the duck foot too. Being able to be used as an offhand weapon. I think an easy fix for that would be to just give pistols the light property so that they can be used in the offhand.
Well, the duck foot, I don't know if we... should be.
The duck foot doesn't have to be.
I don't think that should be
didn't you say
allowed
that duck foot's
to-
two-handed for some fucking reason?
Well, no, it's just the recoil on that is astounding. It's
Well, then just fuck it. It can't.
Anything
you
with
can't
an
use it as a
AoE
bonus action. It requires a whole action. Fine,
anything
fuck
with
it,
an
whatever.
AoE, you
What's the
can't shoot twice.
What's the third one? We have the wheel lock.
What, the third AoE?
No. The third pistol.
There's the wheel lock, the flint lock, and the swift lock.
Yes, exactly. I said the wheel lock was the other one that I was thinking about. The wheel lock, if you want that one to still be not like a bonus action, that's fine. That can also be a regular action,
But you can fire it twice with your extra attack.
which is fine.
Which
You
is
can
fine.
and that you can use that. That's cool. I'm down with that.
Yes.
But the other two, the regular flintlock and the swift lock, should be able to be used as offhand weapon. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think I have a problem with that.
Let's see what, so that I can get out of here. Let's see, what were the other things?
The blunderbuss?
Blunderbuss was fine.
The hand mortar?
I didn't have any problems with any of that. It all
You didn't
seemed to
even
work
see
pretty
a
well.
hand mortar.
I'm just saying, like, what I saw didn't seem to have any problems. It
by
all
the way,
seemed to be pretty okay.
Note
I
for everyone real quick, you did not see a hand mortar, but you will.
I didn't see any immediate balance issues that were going to be too much of an issue. As it stood, it was a lot of positioning errors from just, players being where they probably shouldn't be. Which is fine. That's just how the game's played.
Yeah.
You
That's
gotta
just
risk
D&D.
it all. You gotta risk it all to fucking get any damage on the board, so you better get up there and start hitting things.
Mhm.
It is D&D is after all a war game that just so happens to also be, kind of about role playing sometimes.
The debate continues.
At the end of the
Right?
day, yes.
Exactly. Again, this is why I like World of Darkness, goddammit. The role player's roleplay game. Hey B, are you excited for next week?
Yeah, if we get it, please.
We're gonna get it.
I need to
I mean,
remember
I'll
what the
be
fuck I was
there.
doing. My vampire game's been on hiatus for so long.
Well, Octi, I'm
That's
glad you
amazing.
had fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
And we
Let's
look
see,
forward to having
any
you back.
other were there any other notes to give you? No, NPCs were good. They were fun. I told you about the ship combat. I was surprised about the guns. I didn't think they'd work. They wound up working.
Right?
Yeah, honestly, it felt pretty competent, man. It feels like you kind of nailed this one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
The only
so much.
major pain point is the ship combat, and we'll fix that. We're gonna fix that.
Thank you
You know, it's-
so much. We look forward to having you back for the next one.
I'll be around.
Awesome.
All right, I'll catch you guys later.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you too. Have a good day.
I mean, you guys we're all coming back for the next one.
Yeah.
If we can get it scheduled.
Yeah.
Oh, we will get it scheduled. This was too good.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
I was really happy how this turned out. Hi, B.
Hi.
So good to see you.
Yay.
How'd you feel about session? Questions, comments, concerns? I hope you had fun.
Yeah, had fun. I just had to deal with a bit of the things of, oh god, what the fuck is my class? And then also, because struggling with Foundry because of how I had to make my sheet. Maybe too much, maybe too little, maybe issues,
I
and
have
then
a very important question for you. I'm so sorry to interrupt. How do you
What?
feel about the monkey?
the monkey's fine. The only real
You
issue
and I
is
both know the monkey is not fine.
what do you mean? What's wrong with the monkey?
Look at it.
I mean, yeah, the monkey is objectively an abomination and must be destroyed. Unfortunately, for legal reasons, I have to keep the monkey alive.
Oh, no.
It's
Brass
helpful.
monkey.
Its only task so far was mostly thermite, and then also destroy the cloak emitters.
Your clockwork cannon worked out really, really well.
Yeah, I just had to remember the actual step.
I
of,
was
hey,
really surprised with your
Hey,
clockwork
cannon, by the way, 5 feet push.
Yes. 5-foot push. That is.
That
Dude,
isn't its only mode either.
No,
I
no,
could
I'm
switch
not
it
gonna
to an
lie.
AoE.
I'm not gonna lie. That would be devastating to anyone who's about to be pushed back and over the side of a ship.
Yeah, it just needs to hit. There's no save. You just fly.
Like, this is one of the main reasons why I demanded an artificer in this group, because I knew they would excel in this setting.
It does have 2 other modes. I can have it to be a flamethrower or like a little extra bonus HP dispenser. But
Like,
cannon.
artificer technology is bullshit. Treasure planet technology is bullshit. Let's blend these 2 together and create something amazing.
Sorry, you were gonna say something, Lawler?
Nothing.
Yeah, I had fun. My feelings on ship combat are muddled, if only because looking back at it, I felt like it'd be the same either way. Really,
We'll make it work.
It's
maybe
okay. I don't know.
we'll-
It's like it felt kind of confusing, but also it's partially just because we were getting used to it. So
Well,
like,
I think
it's not
Octi.
bad.
I think Octi is right. Maybe if we bring it down to, it's like, hey, what are you doing on the ship? Are you loading? Are you rigging? Are you repairing something? Patching a hole?
That's
It's just-
partially where I'm like, I mean, yeah, but also simultaneously, it's kind of
the turns going real quick.
It's just a little bit confusing.
And then we started boarding, and things got very complicated very quickly.
Besides everything, yeah, I had fun. Yeah, everything good. Just gotta figure out maybe how some things work, but
We
yeah,
need to figure
it's-
out how frickin' boarding works.
how do AOE guns work?
Maybe okay, AoE guns work like AoE guns. They just do straight damage.
Yeah, why not?
I recognize that now.
You just get deleted. There's an argument in favor of just only using them, actually. As a result of that, actually,
Well,
as a consequence.
I also had to nerf them because, as a consequence, you cannot fire them, bonus action reload, and then extra attack fire again.
That is kind of the thing, like
Any AoE weapon now is you cannot use it more than once.
So, like, do all weapons have bonus action reload now?
Yes.
Okay.
Originally, it was action to reload, which Octi pushed hard against that. So I eventually caved and I said, okay, certain guns are only going to be action to reload now, like the hand mortar or the knock.
I see. Mayhaps I switch a weapon. I don't know.
Or I think the duck foot. I don't know. I'll be honest. I'm a little drunk, and yeah, the duck foot. You can't bonus action reload. You have to.
We have
action
time
reload.
between now and the next session. I can see what your current weapon pool is. We have access to an armory. I'll see what I might want to swap out to.
We didn't even stat the double knock.
It's fine. That one's not going to come into play anytime soon.
No, it's not. Like,
But yeah.
like the plan was, if this went well, which it did, to eventually do a full campaign. And I know some of the people in the YouTube chat were asking for that. So yeah, that is on the table. But only
Sounds
after
very cool.
But only after Beyond Adia is done. I'm not doing 2 campaigns at once.
Yeah, that'd probably be a lot.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I had fun with everything. Session was very good.
If I'm gonna do a Treasure Planet campaign, I'm gonna do it justice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because Treasure Planet is sacred to me. But no, I'm glad you had fun. And we will work out the kinks with the ship combat system. This is one of the main reasons why it's not in the description of the stream, by the way, because this was also us ironing out a few of the kinks. Which, hopefully, those will be fixed by next session. We got a bit more behind-the-scenes work to do. But other than that, was there anything else from either of you?
Nope.
Nope. I'm good. I'm tired as hell.
Same.
Yeah, ditto. I'm probably gonna... I've been restraining myself from playing Coral Island these past several days. Pro tip, folks, don't jump into a new video game 1 week before you're supposed to run probably the most advanced D&D session of your life.
Yeah.
That was a mistake on my part, but I got it done. And now I have time to polish more of, let's call it Black Star's lair. Seriously, there's a bunch of stuff that's cooked up in this lair that you guys are gonna absolutely love.
Fun.
It turns out Black Star's folly was underestimating just who the Navy was going to send to find them.
The monkey.
The monkey.
I could give it a gun.
He's just looking
You
at it
can't
like,
fire it.
the fuck is that?
Have a gun.
The brass monkey.
I was up all
Monkey.
night preparing for this, and yeah, now it's gonna have even more polish when we go into this lair. I'm real
Hog.
happy right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. Thanks for running it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to run another one though.
Mm.
We'll sort all of that out. And yeah. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you to everyone else for watching. We love you folks. Thank you so much for supporting the show. We'll see you guys next
GG.
time.